very quickly, the World Series started yesterday. The Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros played game one of the World Series. And let me first just say that this Atlanta Braves team, I don't know if I've seen a team this postseason be able to get off to such quick starts like the Atlanta Braves. This team just continues to produce in the first inning. That's where they've done their most damage throughout this entire postseason. They've been one of the best opening inning teams in the MLB, and they tack on 2 runs. They beat the Astros 6-2 yesterday. Soler got things started off with a big home run. Then Austin Reeves, who's just been a revelation for the Braves this year, just 24 years of age, drives in an RBI to make it 2-0. And the speed of the Braves, they're one of the best teams of just getting guys on base. We see Ozzie Albies just manages to get on base with tons of infield singles, beating out the throws. And then once he's on base, he's one of the best in the league at stealing bases. He's just lightning quick. And they put so much pressure on you, the Braves, when they get a guy aboard, because they're one of the best and fastest teams in the MLB. And they just jumped on the Astros early. Then Duvall followed it up. And obviously, it's a shame that they're going to lose Charlie Morton. You never want to see that. But overall, for me, listen, A.J. Minter stepped in beautifully in relief, actually earned the win, collected the win yesterday because he pitched more innings than Morton or any other bullpen guy. About 2 2/3 innings is what A.J. Minter gave you. He's a young southpaw that's really budding, and he's really brimming with a lot of potential talent. That it's not just potential talent, he's actually exercising it. So he's been really good. And this is the one thing that we know about postseason baseball. Postseason baseball comes down to pitching, comes down to starting pitching, comes down to relieving. You're closing the entire bullpen. That's what it comes down to. And so when I'm thinking about this matchup between the Braves and the Astros on paper, offensively, I would certainly give the edge to the Houston Astros. They've got a slightly more potent offense and offensive lineup from top to bottom, though the Braves have several players in their own right that have just kind of captured lightning in a bottle throughout this postseason. But when I look at the bullpen, for me, and again, even without Charlie Morton, I just think that the bullpen advantage goes to the Braves because I trust Will Smith a lot more than Presley as far as a closer is concerned. I just think that they're better. And then you look at the Astros, they don't have Lance McCullers Jr., who's their number one ace. I think that that's going to be a problem for them. I don't like the rest of their starting pitchers. They're going to have to go to the bullpen the majority of the games early on. I don't really like that. I think the Braves, they've got some better options. They still have Max Fried as a starting pitcher. But the thing that I just have been impressed with, there's just something unpredictable about the Braves this year. And it's not just the fact that they beat the Dodgers, they beat the Brewers, but they just really got hot at the right time. This is a team that closed out the season 12-2. They're 8-3 in the postseason. They had a 16-2 record at some point midway through the second half of the season. They've just been really rolling, and the fact that they've been able to do this all without Ronald Acuna Jr. is really impressive. It's really impressive. And their skipper Snicker, I think is his last name. They've just done a really nice job of buying in, trusting one another. And I actually just think that this is one of those special years where it's unpredictable, but they just seem like the team that has everything going for them. I really do think that that's the case. Not to mention, I just flat out would rather see the Atlanta Braves win because I despise the Houston Astros. I think that two things can be true. I think that I can recognize that some of their offensive players are immensely gifted and talented, and I can also view them as cheaters. It's as simple as that. Kind of scoundrels. I think two of those things can be true. I can think you're a good player, and I can also think you're a cheater. And both of those things are true in this case. And unfortunately for them, while I do think it will alleviate some of the vitriol aimed in the Astros' direction if they win this title, because this will be a legitimate World Series title, it can certainly kind of ease some of that hostility, but their legacies will forever be tarnished. This will live with them, I mean, in infamy. Like, they will be infamously known as the team that cheated. And more importantly, as the team not only cheated, but didn't get away with it, got caught cheating. And that's the problem. The Braves just seem to do everything right. I have a lot of respect for their organization. Again, even though I'm a Dodgers fan, I have to tip my cap. They had a tremendous NLCS. I really like Freddie Freeman. I just think he's a good dude. He seems like a family guy. Seems like someone who has just kind of paid his dues. And I'm happy for him, happy for this team, and I'd like to see them win. And I just truly believe that they're playing better baseball right now. And ultimately, that's the more important thing. They took game 1 last night. Game 2 is tonight. I'm assuming the Astros will probably win that. But then that 3-game stretch in Atlanta might be the series. Might be the series right then and there.